what day in May isn't already declared something? And we kind of thought, well, it's 2007, and so what about if we just put May 7th, 07 as the first Child and Youth Mental Health Day in British Columbia? And luckily we had it declared by the government. What we didn't know at the time, though, is as declarations have to be asked for every year, we kind of assumed that once it's declared and it's a done deal, but it's actually not. So each year we go back and say, can we have the day declared again? And we've been, the government's been very good about declaring that for us. And especially that it's coming from the Ministry of Children and Families, which works very closely with us. So that's where that came from. What we added to it this year, though, was the green ribbon. And in your packages, you'll have some information about why the green ribbon. And I was just absolutely, it's so funny, in the history of the force, I start to look at it as though I don't even really need to go looking for anything anymore. It just seems to come to me and to the people in our agency. And I had the good fortune of going down to San Diego with Nicole Chaville, who works in our organization, and we met with Sandra Spencer. And Sandra is the Executive Director of the Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health in the States. They have, I can't even tell you how many chapters. The work that they're doing in the States in children's mental health on behalf of families is phenomenal. And so we started talking about having an alliance with them and trying to, instead of us reinventing what we're doing up here, how do we work together and collaborate? And when we started talking about our May 7th day, and she said, did you say the 7th? And I said, yeah. She said, that's our day down here too. Couldn't believe it. It's so coincidental. And so she started to tell me about these green ribbons and told me about the meaning of the green. And I just thought, oh, we have so got to have those up in Canada. So we ordered them. We got them sent actually today across Canada. They have the green ribbons in Ontario. Past Senator Mike Kirby is speaking in Halifax today. We have these ribbons all over Nova Scotia today. So we really aren't just celebrating this day here. We really are trying to create this awareness and something for these kids and families across Canada. So we're thrilled. So Mike is wearing his green there. He's speaking about what we're doing in BC. So I think what's happening is that in many ways, BC is actually leaders when it comes to families and children's mental health. And I'm hoping that he's also going to speak to that in Nova Scotia. So that kind of lets you know a little bit about how today came about. Bonnie Ledbeater had approached me from CYHRNet, which is the Child Youth Health Research Network, about doing something in partnership with the F.O.R.C.E and for families. We're very fortunate to really have some tremendous people who approach us and want to support the work that we do. So thanks to Bonnie and CYHRNet, which she'll speak a little bit after, today was possible, and we were thrilled when Dr. Bill Beardsley's name was brought up as somebody that we should bring up to BC, and he was kind enough and the schedule allowed for him to be here with us today. So you'll see over on my left here, this is a graphic recording, and April Orloff, I was downtown and I had walked by a building and they had this drawing up in their window, and I went, oh wow, what's that? And so Nicole and I talked about it, and I said, wouldn't that be cool if we could start recording not just words, but could we actually have a visual of some of the work that we think is important to families? And so Nicole went online and kind of researched, trying to find out, because I told April she needs to put her name on more of her drawings. We discovered actually it was hers afterwards, but it took a little bit of digging. And so I used April about 3 weeks ago when we met with some Aboriginal parents and had her do the recording of what those parents thought their vision was for child and youth mental health, and it was so powerful that then we used it in Victoria with a group of youth. And the youth that came, there were 15, correct, Lisa? We had 15 youth come up, and they participated in this. And Lisa said afterwards, they just said it was the best thing they've ever done, and the thing that they thought really captured their voices better than any focus group or anything that had ever been held for them. So I'm really very interested to see how this plays out for us today, and thrilled that, Gabriel, did you want to say anything about the graphic recording?
Just a word, I guess, which is that my job is really to very literally draw out the ideas in the room. What I do is, it's kind of like a visual executive summary. You don't get all the details. You get those in the presentation handout and if anybody's scribing. But hopefully what will happen is that you'll get a sort of, you can use all the visual cliches, the big picture of today's session, both this morning and this afternoon. And I want to say two things, which I always like to say, which is one, if I have, this is yours, not mine, yours. And if I have misheard anything, misrepresented anything, misspelled your name, or anything like that, I have these sort of handy white stickies that I just slap on top of the mistake and draw right over it as if it never was, which I think I wish I could do to some of my days. But please let me know, if I've misheard you, if I've done anything wrong, or if I've missed something that you think is critical that should get up there, please let me know. There's always a way to fit it in, and there's certainly always a way to correct it. And the other thing is, if you feel so motivated, please, during the breaks, come and visit them, and feel free to pick up a pen and add your own words, pictures, whatever, because people tend to be a bit shy about that, but the truth is it actually makes it richer. It's more of a tapestry when everybody's voices are heard, and you get to make your mark too. So that's all I'd like to say.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I think for some of you might have seen this, others haven't, so I really hope that you enjoyed as much as I did this. A bit of housekeeping. The bathrooms are down the hall. We will have a break where there'll be refreshed coffee and muffins, and we hope to break around 1:45. We do have an afternoon session that is more of a discussion, and it's not including everybody here. We wanted to have a roundtable discussion about what to do in this province for parental mental health and illness. And so the morning is really going to be focused on Dr. Beardsley's wisdom and the work that he's done, and also the parent-professional partnerships, because really that is what we see as the key to our kids' mental health. Is we need to have strong families. We need to have partnerships with families. Very much that's what the F.O.R.C.E is about. You're going to hear from a couple of partnership opportunities and initiatives that we're doing actually here in BC, and you'll hear about some of those this afternoon. And Dr. Janet Davidson from Children's is going to talk about the partnerships that she's done at Children's Hospital and through Provincial Health Services with the F.O.R.C.E. And then she has to scoot off to Children's Hospital because they're also celebrating today with little dogs, and I'll let you talk. Hot dogs and little dogs. Hot dogs and little dogs. So anyways, that is, I'm thrilled. We know that there's lots of budget constraints of people being able to attend events like this right now. We're thrilled all of you could come. And we really hope that this is a great way of celebrating our kids and families. And Jen, do you want to come up and talk about it? So Dr. Janet Davidson.